Welcome on in. Welcome. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Let's see. We are going to stop that. Peace and greetings, everyone. Welcome on in. Let's do a sound check. I want to make sure. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that super chat donation, T. Thomas, the resurrected Saturn. Blessings and love to you. My goodness. Welcome in. I want to make sure that you all can hear me. There is sound. You can hear me. Yes, you caught us live. Can you all hear me? Yes, yes. Welcome in. Wow. What a beautiful way to come in. Gas draws. Yes, you can hear me. Thank you, Cosmic Love. How are you all doing? How are you all feeling? I wanted to come on to check in with you, but I have something that I have to tell you before we get ourselves too carried away right now. And I'm going to welcome everyone on in. But I also want you to check the show notes here because I'm going to be going live doing an exclusive tonight. And many of you may know this. And I'm going to be going live on a fairly new platform. It's a new platform for me where we're going to get together and we're going to discuss some things that we probably can't really go into depth here. And I want to talk about. So that's why we're going to be going over to one of our little sacred spots, our little sacred spaces. We're going to go, we're going to be able to do that. But I wanted to come on here because there are some galactic upgrades that are coming in right now. How many of you feel this energy? And today in particular, you might have felt it last night, but today in particular, but you may not be able to shift your energy. You may not be able to articulate what is going. Dimitri said, I feel every single bit. Like you can feel it, but you can't really put your finger on what is this? Like you might have equated this feeling to something in your life before. Maybe something has happened to you before. Maybe when something great was getting ready to happen, or you were anxious about something. It kind of reminded me, I'm going to tell you this, it kind of reminded me of the first day of going to school. I know that sounds like kind of crazy, but it kind of gave me that feeling. You know how you get? It's like it's something new there, but it's kind of a feeling that feels kind of unfamiliar, but it feels new, but it feels so familiar at the same time. It's kind of hard to put into words, but I want to talk about that karmic evolution. Good to have you here. Obaya says, it's a strange mix of feelings, heavy, but very hopeful. You did that, sis. You did that, sis. Like you put that, I love the way you articulated that. that's really what I've been getting from so many people have been feeling. And then there may be a time that it comes in and you feel like this wave. It may feel like butterflies in your stomach, like Lola says, like a graduation of sorts. So some people are describing it like a graduation. Others are feeling it like a strong pulling, a strong calling, but not really knowing what is this that I'm feeling, you know? If you've ever been, I know we don't want to talk about airplanes right now, but if you've ever been on airplanes, if you've ever been on a boat, on water for a long time, and sometimes that little dip that you get, sometimes you can have that when you're driving in the car and you're kind of going down the hill real deep and then you're going back up, this sort of wave of emotions that's coming through. And so, yes, it's an initiation vibration. And some may describe it as some sort of initiation. I'm going to share with you some of the channels and some of the things to be able to do that. Don't come in here with that said. Don't come in here. Not today. I'm just not in the mood for it. I promise you. I'm not in the mood for it. And you know better than that. We're not even going to entertain that in here today, but I get it. You want some attention and you about to get it, but maybe not in the way you want. So, but understand that it is for some of us, depending on where you are, it is going to be this big, it is going to be sort of a release. For others, it is going to be this massive download, like someone literally just charged you up, like instantly charged you up, and you just feel like you want to take off running, or you want to scream, you know. For others, it may be an outpouring of emotion and energy. It may be some of this energy like this that's coming in, and maybe a combination of both at the same time. So before we dive deeper into this, first of all, I want to say welcome on in. I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle, and I want to say thank you to everyone who's joining me here. Let's hit that like button as well. Don't forget to subscribe. If this is your first time here, I want you to let me know as well too, because I want to make you feel welcome. I want to make you feel right at home, as well as our community here, filled with loving and like-minded, high vibrational beings on the planet. They're going to make you feel welcome and loved as well too. So hit that like button. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well too. And come on in and make yourself feel welcome. I don't want to get too far into this. We're going to get into the read because I knew that this was so important. One, because of the readings that I've been doing all day today. And plus, later on today, I'm going to be doing a very special live. This live event is going to be taking place at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you are certainly welcome to come over. You'll be able to talk to me live. We'll be able to have some conversations, discuss some things, and we'll be able to do it in a very unique way. You know, for many years, I would say for the past 19 years, I have built a very strong community with many of you guys a part of that community, right? And we are more than 4+ million strong all over the world. Now, there has been a lot of changes and things that we've gone through, but even before people understood the importance and the power of the collective and the community coming together, this was something I had heavy in my heart and I knew I was being called to do. And so truly it's been an honor, no matter where I've connected with you, whether it's been here on YouTube, whether it's through listening to the podcast, whether it's through Blog Talk Radio. Yes, you guys are saying you remember me from the Blog Talk days, or wherever you have listened to me from. I truly, truly am so grateful for you. I am so grateful for you. I am totally so grateful for each and every single one of you. And no matter where in the world you have been listening from, I want to say thank you to each and every single one of you. I am so grateful for your love and your support, not only to myself, but to everyone in our community. Here's the thing I want you to understand, because I know many of you have your own communities that you are a part of as well. I understand that a lot of you who are doing the work, that we are definitely in the trenches making things happen with ourselves and with others, that you are building your own communities. This is something that I've seen, and I've seen this coming in. This has been coming in for the last couple of years. And I really have done my best to sort of kind of pivot this as well, is that we still are going to have our communities, and we still are going to have these communities out here on Front Street. But this is why Self-Invested was founded. This is why the Alchemy Collective, the classes I teach, the things that were coming together, such as the Futuristic, by the way, shout out to the Futuristic 2025 Collective, is coming together. But we are finding other sacred spaces where we can go and have these conversations that is in more of a sacred and an intimate place. In the loud noise that is available on Front Street. And as much as I love YouTube, I absolutely love it here. And I love the love and support that I've gotten over the years. And many of you know, I've been around for a long time, but I haven't been very active on YouTube. But I am showing up on YouTube in a more unique way, more authentic way for myself, and also collectively for all of us in the community. And so I thank you all for that. So I have been blessed to have an opportunity to help build a community on other platforms. We still will be utilizing these spaces, and spaces like Clubhouse and Instagram and all of these other places to go live. But I'm also looking for ways that is not so crowded for us to get together, where we can really know that we're being seen, where you're being heard, and we can have and foster a community that is away from maybe some of the louder noise for certain conversations that really are just for those who has the ears to hear and the heart to receive. And so that being said, I'm going to be going live later tonight. Matter of fact, in a couple of hours here, I'm going to be live. Now, I have left the link for you to sign up, and I will be going live on a platform that I'm so excited to bring to you, because we get a chance to talk. We get a chance to connect with one another, and hopefully, and I know this is coming, it will be an opportunity where many of you may decide to come and have a sacred space for yourself and the work that you're doing in the world as well too. And so I want you all to check it out. It is called the Needle app. I don't want to say the name too much, and there's a reason for that, but we'll talk about that when we get there, because it's going to be 8 p.m. tonight that I'm going to be going live. And this is going to be sort of an official. I really want everyone to show up if it's possible for you. And even if you can't make it live, the recording will be available for you for 36 hours. You'll have access to the replay to go back and to listen. The details are in the show note. so that you can have it. You can download the app now, put your telephone number in. And the beautiful thing about it, whenever I go live, you will have access and receive a text message that is telling you I'm going live. And so you don't have to worry. Let me get this here for anyone. You don't see the link. Let me put the link in here. Here is the link. And so there is the link there. You're going to put your phone number in. I want to say thank you to Tasha W for the super chat donation as well. And I want you guys to be there because I want us to have these real conversations. And I don't want to worry about getting censored. You know, there are certain spaces and voices that is kind of being kind of held back, and for great reason, you know, for great reason. I'm authentic and I'm real in everything that I do. I think many of you who know me or have followed me for years, I don't do well with that kind of, you know, I don't do well when it comes to censoring myself. I don't do well with that. So I need to be in a platform where we can speak candid. You can speak candid, you know, speak your honest, authentic truth, and we can speak to each other very up close and personal. And you're able to call in and talk to me. And the great thing, all you need is your phone. And so I'm very excited about us getting together later because it's going to almost be like a little bit of mojo magic tonight. And so I want us all to get in there. We're going to talk about some subjects. I'm going to share some things with you. And yeah, I'm going to share some real good stuff with you. So I wanted to kind of talk about that, but welcome on in. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are checking in from, especially if you are outside of the United States. If this is your very first time, my goodness, if this is your very first time, also let me know that this is your very first time tuning in. If this is your very first time for catching me live, listen, I got to get me something here because my throat is dry. I have been running my mouth all day since early this morning. But I want to talk about these galactic upgrades. I see Virginia is checking in. Sam I Am is checking in. LA, California. Shania is checking in from Houston. Is that I'm going to say AA. Says, thank you, Goddess. I value you. Likewise, I want to say welcome in. Sunflower Soul says, greetings, family. I will be checking in. So good. Maya B is here. Maya is checking in. Wow. Yes, you're checking in from South Africa. Cape Cod is in the building. Welcome on in. Let's see. We have Tremel. Always good to see you, Tremel. The brother Tremel is checking in, representing Daytona, Florida. We have T. Thomas, the resurrected Saturn god, is checking in from West Los Angeles. How are you doing? And how is Los Angeles doing? Welcome in. Checking in. I don't want to say your name wrong. It's beautiful, but he says, I'm from Texas in the U.S., Nigerian born, first time tuning in. Got you from your interview with Bobby. Okay, good to hear you. Good to have you checking in with us. And always love to our brother Bobby. Malik is checking in from St. Louis, Missouri. We got our brother Inglewood 777 checking in from California. And then, of course, Healing Pools of Love is representing North Carolina checking in. We have Priestess Brandy checking in from California, Norwalk, California. And we also have Sunflower Soul is checking in from New Orleans, which, really interesting. I got a channel from New Orleans the other day where they uncovered this artifact. And this artifact that they uncovered was another ancient civilization, and it was a pyramid underground. And in some of these artifacts, they discovered when this part of what they are, what was uncovered, some of the artifacts and some of the things, it's like a whole nother city that's right there near one of the parishes near New Orleans. And there was a whole bunch of reporters and everybody standing around. And they were talking about at this particular time when this took place, like there was literally a separation in the landmass. Like real interesting downloads have been coming in. Some channels have been coming in. So curious about that. Cosmic Love is checking in from St. Louis, Missouri. Tell me if I got that right. Christina is checking in from Stockton, California. Good to see you. And Mr. Made of Space, I love that name, is checking in from Barbados. Welcome in, Barbados. We have Spencer representing H-Town in the building. Good to see you, Spencer. Renika is checking in from Miami. Welcome on in. Maya is checking in from H-Town. That's Ashley. And then we have Candace Earl, Egypt here, first time from Inglewood, California. Welcome on in. Wow, you guys are checking in. We got Nancy Ray from Oklahoma. Welcome on in from Oklahoma. Oh my goodness, Chocolate Strawberry. Every time I say that name, it does something to me. Chocolate Strawberry, checking in from Summersville, South Carolina. I know where that is. Have family in that area. And then, listen, Shania says, Ms.Blue, my dreams have been full-blown movies. We've got to talk. Absolutely. And I hope you're going to be joining me later tonight, but we're going to talk about that as well. We have Maria. Do the text alerts work for the UK? Text alerts do not work for the UK internationally at this time. And right now, the text alerts are only going to be for those who are part of the futuristic collective that is a part of that program. I am working eventually to expand it back out to everyone, but even in the group, it's an extra bonus that I'm putting in only for those who are in the US right now. But great question. Kelly B is representing Texas. And we have V Wright representing Oklahoma. Is that Oklahoma City? Oklahoma. I think I got that right. You're feeling the upgrades. Okay, Coral Floral, Naturally Nurtured, is representing Florida. Let's see. Gas Draws is representing South Carolina. Why you didn't come up? Let me try it again. Good to see you. Wow. We have KK representing Oregon in the building. You know, Oregon is giving away so much land to those that want to come out and start a homestead in Oregon. They actually are giving, is one of the states, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're giving away free land. And also, I think you get a loan if you want to have a house built there too. Like really cool stuff is going on. Nick Kella is representing North Carolina. Priestess Nadra is in the building. Boston vibes in the house. We love it. We love it. Coco Mel is representing Florida. Sarasota, Florida. Welcome in. South Carolina. Tasha W. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so Renika asked, she says, after downloading the app, how do I follow you? So you're going to put in Ms.Blue in the search section. Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys. And if you don't know what I'm talking about me going live later here within a couple of hours. So give me 1 moment. I'm going to show you what that looks like. What that absolutely looks like. Okay. And it should tell you that I'm going live. So once you get, can y'all see it? Once you get on the, if my camera would focus on me. Let's see. Once you get this together, you're going to go into search. And when you search, you're going to search keywords. And once you search keywords, I should come up. I should come up once you search keywords. If I don't, as long as you put your phone number in when you first went to the screen to receive notifications, then when I go live, you're going to get a text message and it's going to tell you that Ms.Blue is live. Every time. It doesn't matter. You're going to get a text message, but I want to show you guys what the home screen looks like. So give me a minute here. I apologize. How we all doing? How we feeling? So this is what the text, this is what, there we go. There's the home screen. You see that? And what's going to pop up? You see how that message popped up there? You put your phone number in. Once you put your phone number in and you hit, come on. Once you put your phone number in and you hit confirm, it's going to send you that notification whenever I go live on Needle. So that's how you're going to get it. Welcome to Sammy. We got a lot of South Carolina folks in the building. Gotti said we are getting rain out in LA. Michelle, always good to see you. Jolie James is here. Welcome in. Jazzo, we have St. Louis in the house. We have the real, I don't want to say your name wrong. I don't want to say it wrong. Representing Texas in the building. Shouts out to all my Texas peeps in the house. Glad to have you in the building. Okay. Glad to have you. Oh, I'm just catching up with the chat. I'm sorry, you guys. There we go. Monique is representing a lot of South Carolina in the building. My goodness. Shout out to South Carolina. As you guys know, my mother's family is from South Carolina. Seth is representing the UK. Good to see you. Oh, look at this. Another South Carolina. Are you kidding me? Is all of South Click in the building? I love it. I love it. We also have the Black Dove representing the Big D, Dallas in the house. Brittany Vise, always beautiful to see Brittany Vise in the building representing Durham, North Carolina, one of my favorite places in the whole wide world to be. And Patrick checking in from Medici. Where is that? I've never heard of that. Where is that? Yeah, South Carolina is representing. But look, let's not sleep on Houston. Let's not sleep on Texas. All right, let's not sleep on Texas. There we go. Represent from Houston, Santa Rose, Centrilla Rose from Houston. Welcome on in. Got to give that big shout out. I am in the UK. I am a Navy chief, Ms. Blue. You a Navy chief? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you set because you know what you put in here. I'm gonna talk about it. But it's all love. It's all it's all love. All right, love Lee is representing New York City. Welcome on in, New York in the building. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. All right. What up? Checking in from Winter Haven, Florida. What a name, right? Winter Haven, Florida. Thank you, Renika. You signed up for the app, so you're going to be ready to go when I'm ready to go at 8 p.m. I love that. And let's see. Indy, you always snapping, Blue. Welcome on in, Universal Div. Let's see. Let's see. We got Journey in the building. Always good to see you, Journey. Journey, why you won't let me click on you? Oh my God, same. I can't wait to tell you about this dream I just woke up for. Journey is always channeling out of the cosmos. Like literally. Journey is always tapped in and have some awesome dreams. So I can't wait for us to talk about those dreams. So the dreams, how many of you have been having these very intense dreams? Let me know. And then also, are you dreaming in color or black and white? That's the question. Color or black and white? How is the dreams happening for you? I want to know that. I want to know that. That's going to be so important. I just want to know, do you remember telling me I'm an invisible sun? I still ponder on what that meant. I don't remember telling you you're an invisible sun. Or did I tell you you had an invisible sun with you? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, Michael. Make sure you come later on so you can call in and we can talk. This is M. Des D. Zilly. First time tuning in live YouTube, but I used to listen to you on Blog Talk for years. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Welcome on in. Well, good to have you here. I'm glad. Make sure you like and subscribe, you guys. I'm glad that the algorithm is pushing things out. Sound, mind, body, divine says Haya, Egypt. Okay, welcome on in. So what did I miss? I think I missed something. Gas draws must have put something up. What gas draws done put up? I must have missed something over here, but we'll talk about it. Yes, Oregon's been doing that for years. Yes, giving away free land. I love that. Welcome on in, everybody. So let's get started. The link is in the descriptions. Okay, you just signed up. RAF 636. Beautiful. We'll see you all later. I'll put the link back in there again. Speaking of Texas, Ms.Blue, are you going to see Beyonce when she go on tour? Of course. I'm part of the Beehive. I'm a Barb. I'm about to do it all. That's right. Of course. Absolutely. Yes. And then yes again. And then yes again. Lola Falana is in the building. Let's give a big shout out to Lola. NS says South Carolina, Texas, Florida. Welcome on in. We got Miss Jasper Music representing Inglewood, Georgia. I know gas draws. The South Carolina portal. Listen, it must be wide open. The cosmic streets, a child of prophecy says. Okay, we got Jersey in the building. Organically wavy. Welcome on in, representing Jersey. Some real interesting things about Jersey. You guys are hearing boom in the night sounds. You got drones flying all over the place. All kinds of things are going on in Jersey. Like real magic is happening out there. I wouldn't be surprised. One of my predictions in the prediction show was earthquakes in New York, Jersey, in that whole region. So many things are happening in the water, underneath the water. California, even in the Greek islands. Like these are some of the places I mentioned where they're going to experience these earthquakes, could be tsunamis. It could be our planet is shifting. We're going to gain some new oceans, some new pathways. And I'm not talking about the one that the president of the United States is talking about, reclaiming oceans. There's going to be enough oceans to go around. Remember, we really live on a water planet instead of an earth planet. We live on a water planet. Okay, thank you for that. Oh, that's your nickname. Okay, I thought that was a place you was at. I was about to say, I don't know. Sheena is representing Los Angeles, or the city of angels, as they say. Dimitri says, we up in here, Dallas in the building. Absolutely. Marie, Soulful of Love, representing New York. Oh, you're representing Minnesota, Minneapolis. You know, when I was younger, I could never say that word. I think it's something pretty ancient. Pretty ancient. Seriously, V is representing Maryland. Welcome on in. We got Karmic Evolution is representing the UK. Shout out to all of our international listeners that are there, that are here, that is listening in. All right. So we got to get down to business. This is how you've been dreaming. So you've been dreaming in color. Sam, I am in color. I love it. Tremel, very vivid dreams in color. Oh, I love it. Wild dreams in color. Color is standing out. All right, major dreams. All night for months now, KK says. Always in color. In color. We're going to talk about In Living Color. In Living Color. Some of y'all may not remember in Living Color. You may be too young. But In Living Color. So many of you. All right. Priestess Lala in color. Tony Starks in color. Dreaming in color. I love it. Gaudy color. Ooh, Cinnamon, Priestess Cinnamon color. So many of you guys dreaming in color. And I want to talk about these colors very much so in colors. Lola Falana said, I'm having intense dreams. I'm fighting and it's violent. Ooh, my goodness. We need to talk about that. In color, just in color, you've been color. A lot of color dreamings. We're going to talk about it. I dreamed I was in Japan learning how to refine my soul. Powerful. Gas draws. Color. Dreaming in color. All right. The Raft says a mixture of color and black and white. Okay. We're going to talk about that. Papa Flan says, mines have been in color on certain days and black and white in others. I think this is a good time for us to talk about it. Who knows, what do you think, or what have you been told about dreaming in color versus dreaming in black and white? Have you been told something? Because we're talking about these galactic upgrades that are coming in and what you need to know here. Who knows? Does anyone know? Anyone know? As we're going through, everyone having these powerful dreams that are in color and that are in black and white. My dreams have been frequent and active since I stopped smoking pot. Good for you. And not that I'm against smoking pot, but I will tell you right now, I'm looking at your energy, and because of your third eye, you need to stay away from anything that is overstimulating to you. That's alcohol, vaping, that's hookah, believe it or not, because that's another thing. Anything that's going to stimulate or overstimulate your pineal gland or your third eye, you want to stay away from that, because it can really sort of kind of you know overstimulate you. That's the best word that I want to put it. Overstimulate you. Mm-hmm. You guys are having part 1, part 2, part 3 of dreams like a movie. I love that. Welcome on in, Griffin. Uh-huh. Okay, some more black and white. Yes, both black and white and both color. Let's see. Does anyone know? Definitely color. I was water fasting this week, like the last 2 days, and I got up too fast and couldn't fully remember my dreams. Yes, I always tell people, before your feet hits the floor, grab something, a notebook, keep it beside your bed, and start writing those things down. You want to make sure that you document it, because the moment your feet touch the ground, you will be fully back into your body, and it's gonna slip away from you. It's gonna go away from your mind. So you definitely want to make sure. But I want to talk about this, about dreaming in black and white and dreaming in color, and why that's so significant to what is happening. The Akashic skies are open right now. And so what's happening for many of you, because many of you are saying that you're having dreams, some of them are nightmares, and some of them are nightmares. Some of them are you're fighting in your dreams. Some of these dreams are you being taken. Like, a lot of people have emailed me in the last couple of weeks and talked about being taken, like someone's trying to kidnap them or take them away, or take something away from them against their will. Well, what's happening right now is that many of us, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to read some of the comments, because, oh my goodness, you guys are blowing it up. But what's happening right now is that a lot of your past lives are coming online. In fact, you have a new past life that is stepping forward for you at this particular time. And so, depending on the work that you did in that past life, and two things are happening, and I've seen this split before. There is a split that is actually happening amongst the collectives. And there's a part of you that feels like this particular past life is a past life that you had. How can I say this? One is going to be Atlantis, a past life when you were in Atlantis or Lemuria. And then the other past life that you particularly are going to have is going to be post Atlantis, which many of the people post Atlantis ended up reincarnating into Egypt, into early pre-dynastic times of ancient Egypt. And this has to do with a lot of past life. And so the reason this is important for these dreams coming up now is because many of us have cleared our karma for this physical bloodline that we're living in this time. And that happened around 2012. And I tell you about that because that was a significant time for me. So really around when we came into the 2000s first, and then when we came into 2012, when everything was happening and everything was going on in the world in 2012, this is when so many of us who were doing the work on the planet, we became activated. Even if we were on this spiritual quest and waking up to understanding more about who we were, we initially either began to separate ourselves from our families, or our families were separating themselves from us, or we were going through a time of really trying to discover more about who we were and what our divine purpose was on the planet. And so there were great transformations that people were moving themselves into, much like what is happening to the people on the planet at this time. But what we did during 2012, for those of us that were here, that came in to raise the bloodline. So it's, it doesn't work the way that the books and maybe some other teachers have taught you in this particular time. I'm going to share my personal experience with it and how this has begun to come to life at this particular time. In 2012, I had an episode where I was bleeding through my menses and I could not stop. And I've talked about this in some past shows, and I had to have a close friend of mine's rush me to the emergency room. And literally, I never forget, because it was a full moon. I had spoke to Brother Bobby Hemmett about it and told him I was on my way to the hospital and what was going on. And I didn't know, but it was literally like someone pouring a glass of water. That's how fast everything was coming out. And I remember when I got to the hospital and they took my blood. And I remember the nurse looking at the tube, and she looked at the doctor and said something, and she started yelling. She was like, oh, her blood is, and my blood was bubbling inside of the valve. I could literally see it bubbling up like it was trying to explode to get out of the valve. And she took off running out of the room. And so the doctor sat there and was talking to me. Someone says 12 was when I was starred to the hospital. I'm not sure what that means, but I think taken to the hospital. So anyway, when the doctor called me in, came back in the room, they couldn't find anything wrong. And he said, well, it's a full moon tonight. He said, we're going to keep you, and I'm going to try to give you some medicine to see if I can stop the bleeding, stop you from bleeding, because we're unsure of what is happening at this time. And they were talking at that time that they had to give me a blood transfusion, all kinds of things. They were looking into my chart. Have you ever had this happen before? Da, 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 the whole thing. And then suddenly I remember my guides telling me to look at the clock. And the moment I looked at the clock, and the clock struck 12 midnight, and I never forget this, it was like 12:01 or 12:02 midnight. As soon as the clock went to 12:01, 12:02, boom, it stopped. They kept me another 2.5 hours to make sure that it completely stopped, and it completely stopped, and it never happened again. It didn't happen again. I didn't have that issue for a very, very long time. That night when I went home, I had a dream, and in the dream, I was taken to this river, and it was a man and a woman sitting in a chair, sitting in like a throne chair. They were sitting in the chair, and the lady had my hand, and she was walking me in the water. And as I was walking in the water, I was wearing like this white head wrap, and I had on like a white sort of like gown. And she was telling me, it's okay, walk in the river, walk in the water. And as I was walking in the water, I was worried that I couldn't feel the bottom. And I was kind of had a little bit of fear. And she was like, don't worry, just follow me. And I was following her, and we walked between two mountains. And when we got to the other side, there were these two huge, gigantic chairs, like huge. And there was a man sitting in one chair, and then the woman who was taking me through the river and the water. This goes back to somebody, and I don't know who said it. It might have been Tasha W, about an initiation. Forgive me if it's the wrong person, but somebody mentioned this energy feeling like some sort of initiation. And this is exactly what was going on. I can't remember who mentioned that, but somebody did. And so once I got to the chair, and I see many of you say that you've had these similar dreams, and I'm going to tell you exactly what this is. And so as the woman got up, she walked and she sat in the chair, and then she became huge in the chair like the man. And when they both got there and they were sitting in the chair, they were sitting in the chair, and I was standing in front of them. And when I was sitting in front of them, I was looking at the man and looking at the woman, and I started to like put my head down because it felt almost like I was in front of the divine masculine and the supreme feminine. And I realized that that was the essence of what they were representing. And soon as I started to put my head down, both of them said, no, 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 no. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. And do not put your head down. Do not put your head down. Hold your head up. And so I was holding my head up. And the man asked me, he said, do you know why you were brought here? And I said, no. And he said, because it is your time. It is your time. It is your time. And you will be the one to bring this work more into being. You're going to be bringing your work more into light. And we're going to be your guides to really help you bring this more to light. And I said, but I don't understand what you want me to bring to light. And then suddenly, while he was saying that, I looked up and there were people all around. And so suddenly what appeared to be a mountain started turning into people. And there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and like thousands and thousands. There was just people everywhere, and they all were standing there. And he said, but what you must first do is you have to walk back across the river between the two mountains by yourself. And once you get to the other side, things will be clear for you. And so I did. I turned around and I was scared because I had to go in the water. And I'm thinking the lady is not there now. She can't tell me where to step and where to walk. And so I had to walk. And as I was walking, there was times that I stepped that I couldn't feel the bottom, but I just kept my head up because I kept wanting to put my head down. And I remember what they told me, do not hold your head down, hold your head up. And so I walked and walked. And when I got to the other side, I was exhausted. When I say so exhausted, I was exhausted. And even in the dream, I felt exhausted. And I fell to the ground and I was on the beach. It was sand. It was like this beautiful kind of golden brown sand. And I was on the sand and I was so exhausted. I was like using my arm to sort of crawl because I was trying to crawl towards this rock and see if I could get to the rock because I just felt like I couldn't even breathe. It hurt to breathe. It hurt to even breathe. Once I finally got to the rock, I just kind of laid on the rock and I could feel the sun, like the sun was so bright. But I was trying to look back across the river through this river to see where the man and the woman was that was sitting in these chairs. But the sun was so bright, I couldn't see. I could like see their feet, but I could not see them. I couldn't see them. And so I kept trying to get myself up, but I was so exhausted to try to look and see. I leaned back on the rock. Once I leaned back on the rock, I looked up and they were behind me. And when I seen them behind me, I was like, how did y'all get behind me? And they said, we are behind you because you made it to the other side. And I looked down at my clothing. My clothing had changed. My hair had changed. My skin had changed. Like everything changed. And they said, you've cleared it. you've cleared your bloodline. Your bloodline is clear, and you have to go and you have to teach this to our people, the people who know, the great ones, the ones who came back from the work, that the bloodline is clear. And the more that you do your work, you have cleared the bloodline. And so I say that to say, ever since 2012, I have been really sort of sharing this message that the quickest way to clear your bloodline, or what people want to call ancestral trauma, is by you doing your work. And when you are doing, and oh, Lance is in the building. Welcome in, Lance. I'm sorry, I had to say that. Once you clear yourself, that's how you clear the bloodline. You're not actually clearing the bloodline. What you're doing is you're raising the vibration of the physical blood, of your physical DNA. Because the vibration of your DNA, what the blood that runs through you and everyone in your family, there is a connection. So I tell you all this because let's say that you're not speaking to your mother, or you're not speaking to your father, or you and your siblings have had a falling out, or there was a separation between your family line. It could be on your mother's side or your father's side. And so that bond that can never be broken, you know how our ancestors and elders will tell you blood is thicker than water. Well, I want you to look at this from more of an esoteric, occult point of view when we talk about blood. Blood is thicker than water, and blood has a component in it that water has in it too, but the activation of blood is completely different than the activation of water. When you crystallize and when you change the frequency and vibration of your blood, when you're holding a vibration, when you're holding a frequency, it doesn't just impact you, it impacts anyone who is in your bloodline. And so your aunt who lives 10,000 miles away, when you raise your frequency, your aunt benefits from that. Now, she doesn't have to take the same path that you're taking and choosing to do the work that you're doing, but it is a beneficial thing that comes together for the entire bloodline. The bloodline benefits from this. Your children benefit from this. Your grandchildren, great grandchildren, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, whether they choose to follow your path or not. What you're doing is you're helping them to see light, and they will see light in the course of what their soul is requesting for them to do. And so, for instance, by you doing this particular work that you're doing, you may have a cousin who is going through a deep, dark time. This could be a cousin that you don't even speak to, and you may not know what's happening with that particular relative, right? But by you doing your work and doing the things that that you're doing, then what happens is it automatically, they get to benefit that, where your cousin may think that it's only one way, I only have this option. They now will know that there are many different paths that they can take. Now, I want to be very clear, because here's something else that my guides have shown me and told me. No one is responsible, one person, for clearing a bloodline. That's not a one person thing. That's not a one person thing. And it's also not a one lifetime thing. But what happens throughout the bloodlines, there will be certain souls who come along that is here to elevate the frequency of a particular bloodline. If you are listening to me right now, you are that person that came to elevate the frequency in your bloodline. We're talking energy, we're talking DNA, but in essence, we're speaking light codes. You are the person here for that expansion. key thing I want you to take away from this. The expansion cannot happen in the bloodline if it is not happening in your life. And so when you focus on you and you focus on elevating yourself and elevating your bloodline, then not elevating your bloodline, elevating yourself and elevating your life, you elevate your bloodline. Now, you have a physical bloodline that frequency will get a chance to get a boost, get a boost. And many of you have got a boost. You've got an elevation from someone in your family. Take, for instance, maybe you have someone in your family that's super, super duper nerdy, right? They're just super duper nerdy. And that particular person studies and they're very well educated. Now, you might have grown up with that particular cousin or grown up at the same time with that particular aunt, right? And you might have struggled in school. You have a child and that child, boom, catches on and you say, oh, you're smart like your Uncle Charles. You're a genius just like your uncle. You're just like that. I often tease my sister and my son that way because he's a baby genius and she is too. My sister is older than my son. And we often compare those two when it comes to their capacity for their mind, that way of being in the bloodline. So that's how that works. But you're bringing more light into the bloodline, which brings in more possibility. More possibility. That's what you're doing. You're allowing more possibility for things to open up. But you also have a spiritual bloodline. And your spiritual bloodline is where you come together with your soul group, your tribe, your community, the collective, those you choose to come together with. When you come together with them. When we are here and we are doing this work together, we're engaging, you're entering into the conversation. You are doing this work in this way. You are helping to raise the frequency of your spiritual bloodline, which is a spiritual bloodline that we all belong to, is all of the beings on planet Earth. We all are under one umbrella. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter skin color. Doesn't matter what country you're from, what language you speak, what your spiritual preferences. None of that matter. Whether you're male, female, or everything in between, it doesn't matter. That's one. You're contributing to that when you do your work. Second, when you have a soul group, it's even more intensified. So when we come together and we're doing this work together, we are activating, right? The consciousness for so many on the planet. For those of us that are here, we are like broadcast stations or lighthouses for communities. So for each person on the planet that's conscious, you are a lighthouse for 1,000 to 2,000 people on the planet that you are lighting up a pathway for them. Not in a way that your karma or your life and you're responsible for them. It doesn't work like that. We are sovereign beings. But it means that you could simply walk into the train station to catch the train to go to work or to go to school or to go shopping or whatever. And people who are around you that are not consciously aware will be able to feel your vibration, and that light will come into their consciousness. When that light comes into their consciousness, they may never say a word to you, but you have activated some of their ancient DNA, some of their, what science called their junk DNA. You have activated some of their DNA. If they have done work in a particular area, it will even begin to start crystallizing some of their DNA for them. And they may go on to where they're going to go for the day and all of a sudden start to ponder questions about their self and their consciousness because they have come in contact with you. Quiet as it's kept, We are the aliens on the planet. I know we don't like to think of ourselves like aliens on the planet, but we are the aliens on the planet. So a lot of times what's happening through holograms, you may even go somewhere and later have somebody tell you there was a sighting that happened. On certain days when those of us on the planet and our frequencies have been raised real high, our auras are projecting and our energy is projecting our holograms all over the place. Yeah, that part. Our auras is projecting all over the place. I want to see this. All right. So Jose said, I've been meeting certain types of people from my past who just popped back in my daily. Well, this is the week for that because the Akashic skies are open. And while the Akashic skies are open, this is the time that the doorways are open. So you will have people coming in your life. You will have people leaving your life. You will have new people that you're meeting in your life because you're meeting people and people are coming into your life for the things that you're stepping into now. Here's the thing. I know you think you know what it is, but you really don't know. You understand? So this is the time to remain open. This is the time for you to get curious. It is the time for you to begin to stay flexible, right? We have to stay present in this moment so that we can be aware. Some of you are saying, Christine, and welcome on in, Bodhisattva now. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. And some of you are saying that you are ready to let go and be open. Here's the truth. You've been open. Here's the truth. You've been letting go. I need you to acknowledge. Do not use these spiritual terms to lock you in to a box. Know that you are not a new beginner. You have been doing this work. You are not new at this work. And you have to recognize it when it is happening. You have to command it, have to understand it. You are not a new beginner, not when it comes to these different cycles that you're in. You're not a new beginner at it. And I need you to really put your alchemy hats on when this comes. Bring out that avatar in you to know that you are an ancient soul on this planet. And so these ups and downs and things that we're experiencing, they're not here to destroy you. But in fact, it is something that you've been through before. This is probably why you're feeling it so intense. I don't want to get away from us being aliens and how past lives are coming online right now. So the spiritual workers are being called to another level. And I know what y'all are saying. I know what y'all are saying. We've been called to come into action, but we're being called to come into action in a new way. We're being called to come into an action in a more elevated way. We're being called to come into action in a way that the world hasn't seen before. And I think what's happening for a lot of us, we are trying so hard to repeat the past. And the past cannot be repeated, nor should it be. You know, an interesting conversation that I had with many of you who are a part of the Futuristic Collective, which is still available, by the way. And I send out these text messages, one, just as energetic upgrades, but also to spark that conversation, because I know that those of you who are part of this is really those who are rolling up their sleeves and really diving in deep, like many of you. But I sent out a text message earlier today. I think it was earlier today, or it might have been yesterday, about you have a decision. You're either going to take time to destroy your past, right? or you're going to be building your future. And I cannot tell you how many text messages I got back. And we had some beautiful dialogue of decoding what this really means, right? Because we've been taught that something has to be destroyed in order for something new to happen. And even though that is a fact, I'm not asking you to get into the essence of what is a universal law. I'm asking you, where do you stand with that? Are you on the team that wants to stay back and destroy? Or are you on the team that wants to come and build something new? That's what you're being asked. Think about what's happening in our world. Think about what's going on right now. So much is being destroyed, and it does. Things do have to end in order for something new to begin. But here's where the magic comes in, and where you got to know yourself and know thyself. There is a split in humanity. Where are you going to be with this split? You're going to be part of the group that stays and destroy, because that's real work. And I honor anyone that is being called for that. Or are you going to be the one who wants to build something new? You cannot do them both. You cannot do them both. Which one? And neither side is wrong. And I'm not here to judge for you. I want you to. You understand? Destroy, not the past. I'm talking about systems, outdated systems, things that are happening, things that are falling apart. But destroy also means, I don't like this job that I'm at. Rather than me focus on getting something I do love and I want to be a part of, I want to destroy this, or allow this to destroy me. Because in essence, if you are fighting for some part of destruction, you have to know that you yourself will become the phoenix. Because the phoenix means that you burn yourself down, you destroy. What does the phoenix do? It turns into ash. It burns away, and then it takes the ashes and it rebuilds itself. This is a trying energy. That's why for all of us, the house of Scorpio, where we have Scorpio at in our chart, is a trying energy for all of us, because it is a place often of self-undoing. You understand? It's a place where we allow ourselves to keep being burnt to the ground and built up. But the goal of Scorpio is to get into the occult side of it, seeing things so you can avoid that essence and become the ego. That's why Scorpio has so many symbolic symbols, where you can rise above what we consider to be wrong or even right, and you can move into something of the greater picture, and you can begin to soar, you can begin to elevate, you can begin to rise to a higher height. This is why in ancient Egypt, when you think about the god Haru, he is often depicted with the head of Horus, right? Because Haru itself means above the horizon. He has risen above. But this is why when you think about that Scorpio energy as it relates to astrology, most of that is destructive energy. That is at its primal sense. That is in the beginning. And if you do not catch that, you will keep destroying everything you build, and you will constantly see yourself in the position of always starting over from zero, always having to rebuild again, always having to start over again, always having to have a relationship, lose a relationship, always having to keep going back into this. The goal, no matter if it's your first house, your second house, your third house, your eighth house, your seventh house, your sixth house, your 12th house, wherever this energy is for you, it's for you to rise above the phoenix. Come out of the energy of the phoenix and rise to a higher vibration. This is what you must do. If you don't rise to a higher vibration, you will stay on that cycle of destruction and burning something down, whether it be yourself or whether it be something that is connected to you. That is going to happen. And so that's one way that I want you all to look at that, to be able to understand the metaphor that I'm giving you here is when it comes to understanding between, am I going to destroy what no longer serves me? Work on that destruction. We often talk about Pluto, but I want you to think about this. Pluto is the planet of generational wealth. I hear so many people trying to tap into wealth, but Pluto is the planet that doesn't build just wealth. Pluto builds wealth at the billion and trillionaire of wealth sign. That's what Pluto helps to do. Now, Pluto does want to dismantle, Pluto does want to destroy what is not working. It doesn't say you must destroy it because you could be moving on to bigger and better things. So, this is where you have to pick your battles and understand where your focus is and what is so meaningful for you in your life. It doesn't have to be a struggle. They want you to believe that. And despite what the president says, the golden age is not something that he came up with. The golden age is something that existed in the ancient world and it exists now. And the golden age is not only for a select few, it is for those of us that are here. And a part of that evolution of the golden age, the ancient ones are returning. It doesn't mean that you are going back to ancient ways. It means that you're able to crystallize that information and things that is happening inside of you and continue the work. Remember, from a soul level, the soul doesn't see many lifetimes. It sees one continuous life and it's just ever flowing. And so you are here to continue work that you have not continued in a past life. Many of you are experiencing fears because you are coming into that timeline and you have to cross that timeline where you were either stopped, either you were unalived while you couldn't finish doing it, or either you did something that you never achieved that level of fulfillment in a past life, and now you're getting close to it. And so there's a part of you that wants to retreat. It's a part of you that wants to give up. It's a part of you that doesn't want to dream. This is why I tell you, we are in wish season. Remember, the false matrix, the mind cannot wish. This is business of the heart. The heart is the only place that can hold wishes. You must have wishes and desires. You must hold a vision for the future. If you don't take anything away from our talk here tonight, take about 5 to 10 minutes to sit every day to hold your vision and hold your wishes. A part of you doesn't want to dream. Absolutely, Jose. A part of you does not want to dream. It doesn't. It's afraid because that dream is taking you back to an ancient memory, something that is there that you have not been able to conquer. Look in your life, see what area you're struggling in, and I guarantee you this is where your breakthrough moment can be for you. You have to come through. You have to visualize, see yourself, command yourself on the other side, and then you have to take action. And you can only, this is another conversation with the futuristic activation collective that we talked about. You have to get control of your mind. You have to get control of your mind. If you are an overthinker, if you constantly have thoughts running through your mind, I want you to understand that that is your superpower. And so now you have to make sure you're using your superpower to your greatest and your highest good. To use your superpower as your greatest good, you have to focus on your greatest good. You have to focus on the greatest possibility, the greatest outcome, and you have to train yourself. You have to become an inner Natirian scribe, as Siba Haru would say. You have to become a modern day superstar. And as a modern day superstar, you have to train your mind to focus on the greatest thing that you want to happen. What is the greatest thing that could happen to you this evening? Could it be that you finish all the things that you need to get done and you get to bed on time? You have to be able to start doing this, because what happens is you start to wake up these neural pathways in your brain. You start to crystallize your blood when you give it something new, for your energy to guide itself through. If you allow your energy to be guided through these same old stories that you've been telling yourself 10 years, 5 years, 6 years, 20 years, 15 years, or even 5 days that are not serving, then the only thing you're doing is you're hard wiring this into your energy. And you have to shift that. This is what you should be fighting for. This is what you should be fighting against. Many of you are talking about fighting in your sleep. This is what it's trying to get you to fight. The enemy does not live outside of you. The enemy is within. Into me I see. Whenever you think of an enemy, it is time for you to look within, not with judgment, but with power. And many of you are afraid of your own power. You have to take your power back, but you have to know you're powerful. And if you don't know you're powerful, then someone telling you, like me, Ms.Blue, the Oracle, take your power back, you don't know how to do that. You don't know how to take your power back because you never recognize that you have power. But you have power. You have power, like the aurora lights that you see in the sky, like the stars that are twinkling, like the sun that we all needs to live, like the moon, its energy that moves the tides and the oceans and the waters that's deep within your soul. You have that same power, and you have to know that you have power, because it's no way that you can wake up every single day. You can breathe. You can blink. You can walk. Your blood is flowing, right? Your nails are growing. Your hair is flowing. It's no way that you have these things going on with you. And you're telling me that you can't stop yourself from thinking something you don't want to think about. You're not telling me that you cannot change what you are choosing to focus on. It is a superpower. So for those of you that got negative thoughts that are constantly running through your head, I want you to start telling yourself, this is a superpower. Let me think about how I am choosing to use this superpower of my mind. What is it that I need to create in my life at this particular time? Where is it that I need to seek some elevation? What is it that I need to create and manifest in this moment? And then command yourself. Because like soldiers, your DNA and your RNA, they are listening to what you are feeling. They are listening to how you are taking action and where you are not taking action at. And that is what they are responding to. And so you must do that. You must use this beautiful, gorgeous throat chakra that you have. That is one of the most powerful energy portals on the physical body. You must use this because the auric field, when you start to speak and have internal communication, external communication in your auric field within that same fifth chakra, is where your soul plan is. And if you are speaking negatively, if you are thinking negatively, if you constantly are in a state of low vibration, then you cannot break through to feel, to see within that field, to get that understanding of what your life purpose is. Find joy. And I'm not going to tell you you won't ever have a negative thought, because that's the nature of this reality that we're in. But you can minuscule that negative thought. I have literally worked. I'm not giving you lip service. Everything that I've created in my life, from this platform, from building to creating, from the programs, the people I've worked with, and the thousands that I've helped, the life I've built, my house, my home, my career, everything, my physical body, from my healing, I had to command that within myself. I had to command it. And this is not a superpower that just is exclusive to me. It is your blood right. It is your birthright. It is both of those rights that you can command that within yourself, but you got to be bold enough. You know, everybody is taught how to stand up to a bully or stand up to someone that you feel is taking your power away. But that main person is yourself. You must stand up to that part of yourself that needs to grow the fuck up. Because when you realize how much power you truly have, you will sit back and laugh at some of the things that you have allowed to hold you captive. You understand? To hold you captives. There is no days off when it comes to loving yourself. You get no days off, and you should never want a day off, because the work that I put into me, I get that. I get paid not time and a half. I get 10,000 times and a half in return for the work I do on me. Anytime you can sleep on you, you sleeping on your life. I want you to understand that. Don't tell me you don't sleep. You ain't allowed to go to sleep on a damn job, but you sleeping on yourself. Like, we got this all backwards. And it's time for you to unravel all of that. I also want you to know that a negative thought vibration is here. If you have 50 negative thoughts, if you can take 10 minutes and say, I'm going to stop this negative thought, and you bring one positive thought in, it will cancel out this negative thought. So you have to be canceling shit every single day. You cannot allow yourself to stay in victim mode. Listen at me, and I want you to hear me, because these next couple of months is going to test you. You cannot stay in victim mode. You will not survive. You have to listen to your intuition. You have to trust yourself, and you cannot be afraid to tell yourself, we are going to raise our frequency. And we are going to, instead of wondering what is the worst thing that can happen, we are going to focus on what is the best thing that's going to happen. And you have to start small. You do this with little things. And then you begin to build your strength up like a warrior. And then you begin to start using it in every area of your life. I don't care what's coming at you. I don't care what is happening in your life. If you change your frequency, you change everything, because you are the creator. Now, you can keep playing around thinking the creator is in the sky. You can keep thinking that it's your ancestors coming to get you. You can think it's some god or goddess that's coming to save you, some angel gonna fall out the sky. None of that gets activated until you get activated. None of it. They are not here to take over your free will. And it's time, because humanity is seeing if that was the case, they definitely would have interfered a long time ago on earth. The person that can save you is you. You have to look in the mirror. Now, the next time I do this talk, we will get into the Medusa theory that we will talk about. Those of you who are part of the Futuristic Collective, we're going to be talking about that and doing some work in that particular area. It is time for me to get ready to go because we're going to continue this conversation over on Needle. I want all of you to sign up. If you haven't signed up, here is the link here to join me over there. I just wanted to come on for a brief moment to be able to connect with all of you. And Hope, number by note, this is beautiful. I needed to hear this. It is confirmation. I am headed in the right direction. Absolutely. Absolutely. Geo in the building. I am 100% willing and able and committed to get beyond and move through any challenges or constraints I am experiencing right now. Hello, there you go. And also know this. Every moment, things change. You can change your life in an instant. In an instant. Go back, listen to the last share. Listen to the share that I did about the 2025 predictions. Go back and listen to that and you will see. You will see. But the time is now. I don't know how else to say that. I wanted to come on for a few moments. The time is now. The time is now. So I will see you all over. I will see you all over on Needle. I'm heading over there right now. I'm going to get myself set up. I want us to blow that up. I want us to blow that up, literally and figuratively. If you can make it over there, I want you to come on over and join me over there. This is your personal invitation to come and join me. And then let's continue the conversation in the chat. And I want you all to share with me your takeaways. Share your takeaways. And I want us to continue that in chat. It is a private platform where you actually can call in. This is what Needle is. Speak directly to me. And we can talk. We can have our own space over there. We can have a great time. We can play music. We can do lots of cool things there. So I want you all to come on over. And I want you all to join us over there. That's right. That's right. The time is now. So why wait? So that's going to do it for me. This is the Oracle Report. How you like me now? I love you guys. Peace and love. Tell me your takeaways, what you've been thinking, what you've been feeling. We're going to continue the galactic upgrades that are coming in. We're going to have that conversation on Needle because I want you all to share with me some of those things. And I want to talk about, and I love that Brittany Price says, cranking up the spaceship and flying over to Needle. There we go. There we go. I love you too, Jennifer Bliss. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Pure Feminine, good to see you as well. Love you too. Love you too. But I want you all to share your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe and pass this on to a friend, to a loved one, someone who needs to hear this message as well too. You know, pass this on because that is my goal here for us to get this out to as many superstars on the planet as possible. And I cannot do it alone. It is with your help. So download, pass it on to a friend, share it to someone who needs to hear a word, that wants to connect with a community, a soul family that is interested in building, growing up on planet Earth, activating our magic, and doing amazing things in our life, in the world, and sharing with one another. Can I quote you on social media, baby? Of course you can. Of course you can quote me. I want y'all to quote me. I want you to send these things over. And we're going to talk about some other things too. So I better get out of here. I literally got 1 minute to get in this spaceship and get the mothership up and ready to welcome you all in over on Needle. So let me do it like this. Needle. So peace and love to you all. Oracle kisses. I hope you enjoyed this Oracle report. If you like it, I will do more, but let's run this up. Let's get it out so that everybody can see. Ciao. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. So family, ciao.